based on how much we have collected, decided to take care of I think between 13 and 15 of the cases, which means that we will pay for those who have been discharged and are still hanging around, and then those who need extra money to have critical surgeries conducted on them. And this is in a total of 100,000 Ghana. And then after that, you could hear Stella talking about the things you use, what do you call it, disposable stuff and the consumables. I mean, those things don't come cheap. So we are donating another 50,000 Ghana to the unit. And 150. Yes. But with this gesture, we are not even thinking that it will solve all the problem. And so the reason I'm doing this is to talk to you that are watching us that it's time for you to act. As I always say, today is the other person, is a nameless child. Tomorrow it may be coming close to you. And so if you act now, you may just be saving your own relative. And also to also lower the stress that we push on the staff here. I mean, they've been here, most of them have been here since yesterday. And I don't even know what can compensate for that if God has not called you into this business. And with our little money contribution, we can add a big God bless you and say that we also thank you for the opportunity that on an occasion like this, you have given us the opportunity to be a blessing to the children. When we go, we can sleep. Thank you, Dr. Amfumani.
To help a Christmas child, the idea is that, look, one of the worst things a child can go through is to have Christmas away from people they love, right? And what makes it even worse is the fact that they have to spend it at the hospital. So Help a Christmas Child is our giving back project, which for the past few years has been focused on making children smile at Christmas. So we come and give them food, we give them gifts, we dance with them, make them happy. But apart from that, there's also needs that the people in the hospital have. So this year we decided that apart from simply doing the party, which we will do, we will foot the medical bills of those who have not been able to pay. There was a gentleman who was brought here 24 hours ago. He needs almost 3,000 to start. We pay that and then also do some renovation. So it's our giving back project we do at Christmas through the help of our viewers and listeners who donate, and we come and do this. So we've been coming here to the Korle Hospital for the past 15 years. But we stopped around 2012, 2013. We used to do the party at the Children's Center. But in one of the years, we came here to see this place. And then we realized that there was a lot of work that needs to be done here. So we will see what the renovation leaves us. There's always the need to pay people's bills because a lot of them are from poor families. So who knows? For now, I want to concentrate on the renovation.
For these children, we are glad that at least we are able to offer them some acute treatment. But their challenges are not over when they leave hospital because they're still going to carry with them the scars of these burns for the rest of their lives. And you can imagine how many companies who want to employ these people as front desk staff. Or so you can see the kind of challenge that they'll face. Even if you are doing petty trading, people look at you, and if you are disfigured, nobody wants to buy from you, and things like that. So it's quite a very challenging thing. And so we are grateful anytime when media organizations like yourselves partners with us, because you can help us to try and change the narrative so that our society can become more sensitive to some of these issues. First of all, we need to all work together to reduce the incidence of burns. More than 80% of burns occur in low and middle income countries like Ghana, and want to reduce that incidence. And most of the time, they are preventable because it's due to carelessness or neglect on the part of the caregivers. So it's something that you can help us with. The second thing is also that we want to also educate the general public about basic first aid, because some of these children, they would have been better off if their caregivers or the people around had a better knowledge of what kind of first aid to give them when they got burned, so that they wouldn't suffer certain complications. And then the third thing that you're also helping us to do is to also improve the healthcare infrastructure, so that we can be able to give them good quality of care when they get burnt. But today is Boxing Day, and we are glad that you chose to, you could have been anywhere, but you chose to celebrate with us. And in fact, I know that because of this thing that you have done, the good Lord himself is going to open mega doors and continue making you the number one, and move from high, you move on higher and higher. Because when the story in the good book, when the good Lord was talking about those who went, and the criteria he used was that I was sick and you didn't visit me. I was hungry and you didn't feed me. But now you are coming here to visit sick people. You are coming here to feed hungry people. So I think that is something that really touches God's heart. And so I think more grease to your elbow, and we are grateful. And to the patients, I hope that you would find time to interact with our brothers from Citi and let them know how much we appreciate this gesture. So enjoy the party. Thank you.
Amen.
This center was actually established in May 1997. Okay, so we are going to be 23 years next year. Okay, and it was the first center of its kind in the sense that it was the first burn center that deals with plastic and reconstructive surgery cases. So we have quite a wide range of cases that we deal with. So apart from burns, which you all know about, we also deal with situations where there was a defect at birth. Okay, so if somebody is born, maybe the hands didn't form well, the face didn't form well. Common example is cleft lip, cleft palate, or maybe the chest, the legs, whatever. So we come in to reconstruct. And then we have situations where, due to a disease process or an injury, any part of the body gets deformed, we also come in. So road traffic accidents, trauma, assault, all those things, cancers, all those. So we also receive referrals from the other units, like if the other doctors, especially like maternity, surgery, orthopedics, cardio, wherever, if they are dealing with situations where the part of the body is so diseased that it has to be taken off, and then another part has to be reconstructed, then we come in to help with the reconstruction. So we are like Body Works people. All right, okay. So basically that's it. So we do have a wide range of cases. Of course, we also do cosmetic surgery cases because the same principles are used to. I mean, if you can, make a new part, then if the part is not diseased, then you are just enhancing it. Then that's
You mean you can raise this?
So anyway, so we have 3 main wings here. So we have what we call RPS, Reconstructive Plastic Surgery wing, which deals. So we have in each wing we have a male ward, female ward, and a children's ward. Okay, and then we have the Burns wing, and then we have an ulcer wing. But the Burns wing, the ward condition deteriorated so much that we felt it wasn't proper to keep treating our patients in that kind of environment. So we renovated the leg ulcer wing, and we moved the Burns patient to a leg ulcer wing now. And so the Burns wing is due to undergo renovation. So we knew that you had some intentions of supporting in that area. So we're looking forward to your support in that area, because I mean, if you see the burn patient, their condition, you can look at the way the ward is, you know that we'll be doing our patient the service if we keep treating them in that kind of environment. So anyway, and then we have a theater, theaters which have 2 theater rooms, recovery ward area. So that's where a lot of the action happens. Okay, we've also have recently added a new extension. So we have a new outpatient. Previously, this was our outpatient area, and we had only 2 consulting rooms. And you can appreciate that because of the patient numbers. We had issues with privacy and all that, and the turnaround time. So now we have a new OPD. That's why we had a party. So at least we have 5 consulting rooms, and you see there's a much better place to treat people. Okay, so that's it for the OPD. And then we have a new intensive care unit, which is on the 1st floor of the building that you were in. So that's 6 intensive care beds, 6 high dependency beds. We also have a new theater room and then a procedure room on that floor. And then the next floor we have executive wards, which is for people, more upmarket people. We have to rob people to pay for. Okay, so we charge them a bit more than we used to subsidize for those who are, And then we have training, like a conference room and meeting rooms, etc. Then we have administrative offices at the very top. And we also have our version of 1D, 1F. Okay, we realized that our one of the drivers of cost for our patients was the cost of dressings. So we did this project where we got some big industrial sterilization machines installed, and then we buy the raw material for the dressing. So we produce the dressings on site. We get the sterilized, everything produced. So what that has done is done a number of things. So it's reduced the cost of dressings for our patients. So it means a lot of these poppers that you see, in fact, some of the bills that we are giving you are actually a fraction of the cost, because a lot of it we've covered, because when it comes to dressings, because we are producing it, we just kind of use some for them. So we don't cost that. But then what the other thing is that it's made the dressings more accessible and cheaper for our patients. And then the other thing is also added a little to the income. We put a little markup in it for the cost of labor. So the ones that we train to do it, they get a bit of extra income. So it's something that is basically is like they are self-regulatory, because as soon as materials are running, they are the ones who chase me and say, "Director, the things are getting finished," because that at least at the end of the day, something small will come into their pocket. So anyway, so that's our version of 1D, 1F, which we are in. So there are a few other things we are doing. So I'll be taking you around, okay, to the wards to see some of the patients. One of my colleagues here, Dr. Edemanyingba, he was one of my plastic surgeon colleagues. Yeah. Dr. Ankara was around. We have about that. We also, one of the things we also do is also training. We invest a lot in training, because if you look at the country at the moment, plastic and reconstructive surgery services are available in Accra and Kumasi mainly. We have one practitioner in Cape Coast, but we're limited in terms of what they can do. So we're trying to train a lot more people. So we have a very vigorous postgraduate program ongoing, trying to train more people. We also have other surgeons who are coming from outside, like Sierra Leone and other places, so coming to train here. Because at the moment, Sierra Leone doesn't even have one plastic surgeon. So the first 2 plastic surgeons for Sierra Leone are being trained here as we speak. Okay, so hopefully they should be finishing in March, April next year. So that and we have other people from Nigeria and other things who come here to come and train with us. So it's it's become by default the center for training within the sub-region.
About mistake and one a game for me a yellow no more she near game. Yeah, game me almost 5 months but easy. What General Hospital for 1 month now transfer about Biaka over fee surgery she know what bar. Jeshumo it should be beautiful back in a Jamie. If I share quite new one year, if I want she fair, no more fair, and make a issue. Then a bania balanaka, you will learn you to mufti. Najela pen Jim being Mokumeya, or be a come by a school clamp. Mokokona me one medana may ask you. Be an aje one, she will not scan over pay. The work at that be sitting, you're buying like a mafia, and me, my share me. In Kewo Kube, oh, my boy.
There was virtually nothing here. It hasn't been equipped, yet we came here. And then we had this woman, Evelyn Tay, she's Scottish, and she was the coordinator. So she tried to get some broken tables from 37 and chairs, and we had to put them into equipment like tables for the nurses, and then lockers for the patients. And the beds we were using were all from Scotland, a closed down hospital from Cannesburg. Professor Mustadi brought them. But it hadn't been equipped. So we went around begging for broken chairs and tables, and we started something on an OPD basis. But later on, we started running the RPS, the reconstructive side, and then the bends, and then the leg ulcer. This place used to be the leg ulcer. And then theater came on later, and it was all struggling. But we didn't miss hope. We tried, and by the grace of God, now today, like a mustard seed, it has grown, and birds are enjoying. Human beings are enjoying. I thank God. We lost some of our pioneers. Mrs. Florence upon the first principal nursing officer. And then our driver who helped us a lot, Joseph. And then our garden man who started the beautiful garden, the Japanese garden and others, called Data. They have already gone to eternity. But I am happy anytime I come here. I used to prepare something for the children every 26, but for some time I haven't been able to do it. But fortunately, you are taking it up. So when I heard you on the radio, I said, no, I have to be there. So I am here today to support you. God will bless all of you. Your labor will never be in vain because God is on our side. And you are following the healing services of our Lord Jesus Christ. So you are in good cause. Thank you.
We have a bed capacity of 20, and but most of the times we have more than we can take. So we even take some of our patients on our other units because we have patients coming from all over the country and even outside. And currently, because we are in a different space, our bed capacity has reduced further. So we have a lot of our patients out there in other places. And like I said, all types of burns come here. We have children, we have adults, male, female, and all that. And as we have said, and I'll say again, burns management is very, capital intensive. You need a lot of money, a lot of resource to be able to see a single patient through. Because just a single change of dressing could cost between 300 to 500, even 700 Ghana cedis for a single change of dressing. And each patient is supposed to do a change of dressing every 3 days. A lot of times when they come, the families, they'll put all they have together, they'll run around and then get some funds to be able to do the initial ones. But by the second time, the second dressing and third, they are all exhausted. Their funds are exhausted. So it's now up to us to find ways and means to get the work done. And it's a huge burden on all of us. Several times we've had to pass glove boxes around to do some silver collection and then to do dressing change for a patient, or to do a lab, to carry out a lab investigation for a patient, or blood processing or something like that, buy some nutritional supplements for our patients. Because of the passion that we have. It's not easy. Emotionally, psychologically, it's so draining for even the workers, seeing the pain and the agony that the patients are going through, and the thought that now you are in bed, you are in pain, you are suffering, you are thinking, where is the money going to come from to buy this drug or to do this lab and things like that. NHS comes in to help, but it's just a little. There's so much more that we believe that if NHS and government could look at to capture in the scheme so that it will take care of burns, because whether we like it or not, it's part of us. And unfortunately, burns has no respecter of persons. It could happen to me, it could happen to you, it could happen to anybody. It could happen to the highest on the social ladder and to the lowest person. It happens all the time. And so we really need to look at some kind of sustainable means of funding the care, because this out of pocket, I know we have lost a number of patients because they have all they've exhausted all their resources. We have also exhausted all that we could. And then unfortunately, they lose their lives. As we said, if there is any help we can give to a burn patient, it's very crucial at the initial stages, 48 up to 48, 72, even the first week. It's very important that we get the needed dressing changes, needed antibiotics, needed fluids, needed nutritional supplements, needed blood and blood products to stabilize them, and then they can go through the rest of their stay in the hospital. So if governments can look into it again. And then we're also thinking if we can get help to establish a fund so that when we have burn patients, we can go into that and then support at least the initial phase. Then later they can also, when they gain their feet, they can raise some money from somewhere to support. I remember when we commissioned the new ICU was opened, the president was here and he pledged that his salary for that month would be put into that fund. Our fingers are crossed and we are hoping that we get to taste of it. And then others too will come on board to come and make this fund, something that has come to stay and something that is sustainable so that we can help our patients. And let us remember, it can happen to any of us. So if we make sure we have the right infrastructure, we have the right equipment, we have the right staff, we have the right consumables and things, it is for all of us our good. These people, a lot of times, they are people who are working. That's one thing that pains. A lot of them are working. Caterers, around this time, you have caterers who get exposed to flames and they get injured. We have electricians who are fixing people's Christmas lights and their satellite dish and what have you, and they get electrical burns. We have all kinds of burns, and these people are working. It means that productive hours being wasted in the hospital. So if we have the resource and we can quickly fix them and then send them back, then that will also be, they'll be able to work and then pay their taxes and get more revenue into the system.
Pacha meda Citi fast e wo de omayamaye adomayamaye de mani aso bebre enye nipa ina no metimaye sadwe de bia achede ne fi bia nyame san hye ho mana onsama bi mfiri ombla
nyame enhira Citi fo nyina omomo ya adwuma ho nyina obi oboy bia nyame enhira no ade achi na akokọ bokokoko a eye children's world for mo wo Korle plastic surgery ya na ya da mo ase nyame enhira mo ade fefa mo ayamaye mma no nyame enhira mo onsan enhira mo ma mo nyama mo nyiri nche ena ya da mo ase.
So we just finished the party, and we also finished visiting the wards, quite a number of wards. So we are doing two main things. We are footing the medical bill of up to 13 of the patients, because quite a number of them have had treatment finished but they can't pay. And so for those 13, the average cost was about 100,000 cedis. So we donate 100,000 cedis to pay for the medical bills of some of the patients who have been treated and some who have not finished treatment but essentially need money for the treatment to start. Then we donated another 50,000 cedis for supplies because it's a very how shall I say, it's a very intensive place, so they need a lot of supplies. So the 50,000 is to buy supplies to add to the amount of money to release the people. Then there were 3 wards that need renovation, so we are going to also renovate those wards. The washrooms and the main ward are repainting, changing the burglar proofing, changing the lights and everything else. So that's basically what we are doing, or that's what we are leaving. And of course, the money came from CTFM Foundation, donated by our listeners and our viewers. So that's what we've done today.